Hey guys, Tech Freckle here. Today I'm going to be going over the deploying websites section of the Codecademy course. Let's get started. Introduction, deploying websites. In this unit, you'll be introduced to web hosting and the command line. The goal of this unit is to introduce you to the web hosting and deploying websites with GitHub pages. You will also learn how to use the command line to navigate file structures. After this unit, you'll be able to understand web hosting, deploy a simple website using GitHub pages, navigate file structures. You will put all of this knowledge into practice with upcoming portfolio project. You can complete the portfolio project either in parallel with or after taking the prerequisite content. It's up to you. Learning a social, blah, blah, blah. Read that already. Let's go. Videos. We know what hosting is. And we don't want copyright. Domain name is as well. All right. What is GitHub Pages? In this resource, you'll learn about GitHub Pages, a helpful tool for publishing your website on the internet using a simple and user-friendly platform. Creating a website on GitHub Pages. Put your work online using GitHub Pages. No command line required. GitHub Pages, a tool provided by GitHub, lets you easily create and deploy a website online. GitHub allows you to store all the files and code for your website in a repository. You can use the GitHub Pages to generate a personal URL and share your site with friends, family, and the world. For this tutorial, you need a GitHub account and basic HTML knowledge. You don't need to know Git or the command line, but if you want to learn how to use these tools, check out our Learn Git and GitHub and Learn the Command Line courses. All right, GitHub versus GitHub Pages. In GitHub, code is stored in a repository or repo. You can think of it as a special folder that lives online. GitHub hosts that folder so that it is accessible to you and your teammates from anywhere in the world. In our case, our repository will contain HTML and CSS code that defines a website, but you can't see the website anywhere. GitHub just displays the code like any other text. GitHub Pages essentially connects your repository to a unique URL so that when you go to that URL, say username.github.io in your browser, you'll find your website displayed. Create a repository. Let's get started. Create a new repository named username.github.io, where username is your GitHub username. You have the option here to use a template, add a description, make your repository private, and initialize some additional files. These items make it easy for other developers to learn about your repository, what it's about, who can access it, who can use the code, etc. For simplicity, we're going to skip those items for now. Your site will work without them. Click Create Repository. All right, creating your first page. You should be redirected to the repository page, which shows an empty repository. It's time to add a file. On that page, click the Creating a New File link. Name your file index.html. Now copy and paste the following code into the file. You can customize the text that says your name and welcome to my website. Changes to your repository are called commits. You can imagine each commit as a snapshot of your repository at different times. Time to create our first commit. In the first text box, name your commit, create index.html. Commits usually start with a verb describing changes made to the repository. Press the commit new file button. Viewing your website. Your website is now accessible at username.github.io. Remember to place username with your GitHub username. 8. If you'd like, you can develop your website by adding more HTML and CSS. Your site should update a few minutes after each commit. Troubleshooting. If your site isn't appearing after 10 minutes, try these additional steps. Within your username.github.io repo, go to settings and scroll down to GitHub pages under source. Make sure that your repo is linked to your web page. If you see none, then select the main branch. Within the same GitHub pages section, go to theme chooser and select any theme. All right. I've already done this in the past, so I won't go over it. Right. Let's see here. Navigation. All right. LS. First command we're going to look at is ls. Command is a directive to the computer to perform a specific task. When you type ls, the command line looks at the directory you are in and then lists all the files and directories inside of it. Be sure to type the letter L as in list and not the number 1. In the terminal, the first thing you see is $. This is called a shell prompt. It appears when the terminal is ready to accept a command. If we typed ls, the terminal will display our current directories, files, and directories. All right, let's take a peek. So it looks like 2 folders and a file. directory 2014, 2015, and the hardware.txt are the contents of the current directory. All right. The exercise in this lesson uses the check work button with the terminal. Move through the instructions, perform the tasks, and click the check work button. If you accomplish the task correctly, you can move to the next task or exercise. To start with $sign in the terminal, type ls and press enter. You should see 3 items print out below the command check work to see how you did. Since we've already done it, check work, cool, we're done. Next. All right, print working directory. The next command we're going to look at is pwd, which stands for print working directory. It outputs the name of the directory you're currently in, called the working directory. Here, the working directory is blog. In Codecademy courses, your working directory is usually inside the home CC user workspace directory. Working with ls, the pwd command is useful to show where you are in the file system. Let's continue with our commands in the terminal. Print the working directory. Make sure to click the check work button once you've completed each checkpoint. All right. List all files and directories in the working directory. Okay. Cool. Right. CD. So our next command is CD. What is this after it? Interesting. Which stands for change directory. Just as you would click on a file folder in Windows Explorer or Finder, CD switches you into the directory you specify. In other words, CD changes the working directory. Let's say the directory we change into is 2015, CD 2015. So let's actually do 2014 and ls. Okay, print working directory. Cool. CD dot, I believe. Is it CD dot? No. How do we get back up? Oh, CD space dot ls. Okay. So it's a little bit different than in Windows. When a file directory or program is passed into a command, it is called an argument. Here, the 2015 directory is an argument for the CD command. CD command takes the directory name as the argument and switches into that directory. It is also important to move up one directory. For this, we use CD space dot dot. All right, the argument dot dot stands for the directory above the current working directory, assuming we are in the home CC user workspace blog 2015. The above example uses the command cd space dot dot to navigate up to the home CC user workspace blog directory. Our current working directory is home CC user workspace blog. Change into the 2015 directory. Check it. So confirm you're in the 2015 directory, and then now move back up to blog and then confirm. So let's move further into the file system. We're currently in blog directory. From here, we want to move into the 2015 directory, then into the directory named Jan. So what is it? 2015 Jan memory, should be like that. And then print working directory. Cool. So I completed this already. Let's read the rest of it. From here, we want to move there, Jan, and lastly, directory named memory. You can reference the file system for this lesson here. All right, move down the file system into memory directory. Print the working directory again to see the new location. So I could chain it. I don't think it wanted us to chain it. It's probably a little more advanced than this. I mean, let's be real. This is like training any Joe Blow to do this. In the previous exercise, you used CD multiple times to go. Yeah, exactly like I said. So multiple times to go from blog directory to the memory directory. You can reference the file system here. To move across multiple directories with a single command, we can provide CD a relative path to the memory directory as an argument from the blog directory. All right, the relative path is a / separated list of all the directories leading to the goal directory. In the example above, we navigate directly to memory from blog using CD with the relative path. We can also move up multiple directories using the .. argument to go from memory up to 2 directories. We use .. That's interesting. I don't think there's such thing in Windows. Maybe there is. The relative path could be read, the directory above the directory above that. Lastly, we can move to an adjacent directory using .. and then directory name. If we are in the 2015 directory and we want to go into the 2014 directory, we can go up one directory, then into the 2014 directory. That's actually really cool. Relative path is directory above 2015, which is blog, and then 2014. For this exercise, we want to start in the blog 2015 directory. Check your location. and navigate to this directory. Remember, you can always use a CD with the absolute path. All right, so let's see. I want to test to see if we can actually do this. So we want to go to the blog 2015 directory, but we're currently, oh, okay, never mind. I thought we were going to like 2014 or something. I wanted to see if we could get around. So we're now in 2015. Once in the blog 2015 directory, change the directory to Feb. Okay, actually, I wanted to change this now. So memory. So we're in memory, and I want to get up and then back down. So can I do dot dot, and then we want another one to get one higher, and then we want to go back down into Feb. It's not CS, it's CD. And then, okay, so cool, that actually works. We can go up, up, down, right? Is there like a limit to this? I'm gonna do the check work real quick. Oh. Did you run the command CD Feb? No, I didn't. Okay. Can I type in here? What's going on? Now we're in the 2015, but what if we want to move to the adjacent directory 2015 Jans? Okay, so CD dot. Navigate. Now we're in the 2015, but what if we want to move to the adjacent directory 2015 Jan? Using a single command, which we've done and confirmed it, navigate back to the home CC user workspace blog using a single CD command. So we are down to, okay, so I do want to test this. So we'll go back into 2015 Jan. Can I get to workspace? Okay, I can. So I can go up unlimited amount. Cool. All right, make directory. Now that we can traverse the existing file system, let's try editing it by making directories, folders through the command line. The command line, or the command for that is mkdir. So mkdir command stands for make directory. It takes in a directory name as an argument and then creates a new directory in the current working directory. Here we used mkdir to create a new directory named media inside our working directory. Navigate to the home CC user workspace blog December directory. All right, so CD blog and then 2014 December, and then list all files and directories in the working directory to see what's currently there. So we have two files. What I did you navigate to the home CC user blog? Yeah. Oh, each checkpoint. Rip. Yeah, so let's just go CD. Then we'll go here. Check work. Cool. So let's make a directory. Create a new media. List it. So within our new media directory, you can create another directory named TV. So let's go to media. Okay, so it's saying we can use the two approaches. We can do one from the folder we were in that we created the media folder in, so the December folder, or we can go down into the media folder and then make it. It's these just to see. Okay, TV. So touch. Now we know how to create directories through the command line, but how do we create new files? We can do this using the command touch keyboard.text. The touch command creates a new file inside the working directory. It takes in a file name as an argument and then creates an empty file with the name in the current working directory. Here we use touch to create a new file named keyboard.txt. Make sure you are in the home CC user workspace blog. So boom, and then 3. In it, and then a file named keyboard.txt inside the working directory. If you list its contents again, you should now see your file, and we do. All right, helper commands. Now that we've covered the basics of navigating your file system from the command line, let's take a look at some helpful commands that will make using it easier. Tab can be used to autocomplete your command when you are typing the name of an existing file or directory. You can use tab to finish the rest of the name. The up and down arrows can be used to cycle through previous commands. Up will take you up through the most recent commands, and down will take you back through to the most recent one. Clear is used to clear your terminal, which is useful when it's full of previous commands and outputs. It doesn't change or undo your previous commands, it just clears them from view. As mentioned above, you can use the up and down arrow keys to review your command history anytime. Experiment with the helper commands. Some things you should try are when your working directory is home, type CD2 and then use tab. It should auto complete up to CD201. This because both possible directories 2014 and 2015 start with 201. Use ls to see what contents are in your working directory, then use cd with the first letter of one of the files or directories and use tab to autocomplete. Use the up and down arrow keys to cycle through previous commands. Use clear to clear your previous commands and output from the terminal. I use terminal a lot, so we'll skip that. Review. Congratulations, you've learned 5 commands commonly used to navigate the file system from the command line. What can we generalize so far? The command line is a text interface for the computer's operating system. To access the command line, we use the terminal. The file system organizes computer's files and directories into a tree structure. It starts with the root directory. Each parent directory can contain more child directories and files. From the command line, you can navigate through files and folders on your computer. Outputs the name of the current working directory, lists all the files directories in the working directory. CD switches you into the directory you specify, creates a new directory, creates a new file, clears the terminal, tab auto completes, up and down cycle through. All right. 25 XP. All right, how do you print the current working directory? PWD. What is a directory? So in this case, folder to use store files, yeah. If the current working directory is home, media, music, which of the following commands will navigate to the home folder in the tree below? What does the following command do? Touch media, so it changes the working directory. No, doesn't do that. Creates a file named popular.txt in the media directory. How would you create a file named txt in your current? What is a file system? It's a type of directory. It organizes computer files and directories into a tree structure. That's the one. If the current working directory is home, which of the following commands will navigate to the movies directory in the tree below? So if we're in the our current working directory is that, so we can go CD media and then movies. So that one. How would you change to one directory above the current working directory? That one. Right. 10 XP. Let's go. Setting up command line. Navigate your operating system like a professional programmer. Setting up your command line. The command line is a powerful tool used by developers to find, create, and manipulate files and folders. This short tutorial will walk you through the steps for setting up the command line application on your computer. Command line interfaces come in many forms. The CLI we'll use is called Bash. What is Bash? Bash, or the Born Again shell, is a CLI that was created over 27 years ago by Brian Fox as a free software replacement for the Bourne shell. A shell is a specific kind of CLI. Bash is open source, which means that anyone can read the code and suggest changes. Since its beginning, it has been supported by a large community of engineers who have worked to make it an incredible tool. Bash is the default shell for Linux and Mac. For these reasons, Bash is the most used and widely distributed shell. If you want to learn more about Bash, this Wikipedia article is a good place to start. Bash setup for Mac and Windows. You don't worry about that. Windows users. Windows has a different CLI called Command Prompt. While this has many of the same features as Bash, Bash is much more popular. Because of the strength of the open source community and the tools they provide, mastering Bash is a better investment than mastering Command Prompt. To use Bash on a Windows computer, we will download and install a program called Git Bash. Git Bash allows us to easily access Bash as well as another tool we'll be using later called Git inside the Windows environment. You can either watch the following video or read the rest of the article. All right, navigate to the Git Bash installation page. This is the new window, and I will download it. Once Git Bash is downloaded, run the download.exe file and the application. Put that out to the side. So once Git Bash downloaded, allow the application to make changes to your PC. You will get a prompt that says, do you want to allow this app to make changes? Yes. All right, I'm just going to quickly install this. This looks good. Which editor? Doesn't say anything about the editor. Leave it at the default. And I will use that. Boom. It's now installing. Default settings for everything in this installation. Oh, maybe read the manual before you go installing stuff. Okay, so I did leave it all at default. Open the Start menu by clicking on the Windows icon and typing in Git Bash into the search bar. The icon for Git Bash, in the words Git Bash desktop app, will appear. Click on the icon to open. A new window will open. This is the Git Bash CLI where we'll run bash commands. Whenever a new window of the Git Bash app is opened, you will always be placed in the same directory, your home directory. The home directory is represented by the tilde sign in the CLI after Ming W64. To the tilde is another way to say C username in Git Bash or C home user's username in Windows Command Prompt. The absolute path of your current working directory, how you got from the root directory to the directory you're currently in, will always be noted at the top of the window. Git Bash works by giving you a CLI that acts like a Bash CLI. That means you can now work with your files and folders using Bash commands instead of Windows commands. Congratulations, you now have Bash installed on your computer, ready to use. Try it out. Now that you have your command line interface open on your desktop, you're ready to use it. Go ahead and try some of the commands on your personal computer. Here are some good commands for practice. ls to list the current or the contents of the current directory. It may look like something like this. Make directory test to make a new directory. cd test. So this looks, it's the only new one. Echo hello command line. Hello underscore CLI.txt to create a new file named hello underscore CLI.txt and add hello command line to that file. When you type ls, you should see the following. And then cat hello underscore CLI.txt to print the contents of the hello.cli.txt file to the terminal. You should see something like this. Okay, cool. Good job. You're ready to explore the world of the command line interface on your own computer. All right, 10 XP, hell yeah. I think we have a project coming up. We do, so I will see you in the next video.